Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're actually plunging into a fictional world, but using it to explore some incredibly real challenges. Stuff faced by entrepreneurs, leaders, anyone trying to build something significant.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, our source material for this deep dive is excerpts from Julian Kelly's Book 3, Bearing of the Torch. It's part of his Seasons of Success series.
And our mission really is to use this story specifically, the intense, pretty dramatic events around the main character, almost like a case study.
Mm-hmm.
We want to unpack the pressures of leadership, the tricky business of trust, and just the sheer fight for survival when success, well, it attracts powerful, maybe even dangerous attention.
Exactly. So the source kind of sets the scene with Jay. He's built this impressive empire, right? You get the feeling he's achieved a lot, but there's this current of unease underneath it all. Like things aren't quite settled.
It's that classic feeling, isn't it? You hit a peak, but you sense the ground might be shaky. And the book's preface, it makes it clear this wasn't some easy ride for him. Yeah. Jay's faced big challenges, triumphs too, sure, but also defeats, bitter ones that made him enemies.
Formidable adversaries, the text calls them. And that brings us right to the point in these excerpts where that unease starts to take shape. The source says a new storm is brewing, and crucially, it's described as intensely personal this time.
Personal, okay.
Yeah, the stakes are higher. It suggests his past, his success. It's all kind of culminating in this confrontation. It's catching up.
So how does the storm actually, break? Where does it start?
Well, the excerpts say it kicks off with an urgent message, cryptic, from his business partner, Marcus.
Okay, and then?
Almost immediately after that message, boom, news of a lawsuit against one of Jay's subsidiaries. And what's really striking, according to the source, is how deliberate it feels. The timing seems calculated to hit hard.
Not just random bad luck, then.
Right.
It feels like an attack.
Precisely. And that timing, like you said, it's suspicious. The source also touches on the partnership itself, Jay and Marcus, describes it as this delicate balance. Jay's the methodical, calculated one.
Right.
Marcus, impulsive, aggressive, a mix that apparently led to big wins, but also, big arguments.
Volatile combination, potentially.
Yeah, and this crisis seems to expose that fragility right away. Facing this lawsuit, Jay feels isolated. The source really emphasizes that in that moment, trust feels like a luxury he can't afford. Which is, a tough lesson for any partnership under pressure. How strong is that trust, really?
That sense of isolation, even when you're technically at the top, powerful stuff. Okay, so they've got this lawsuit. Marcus's message triggered it. How do they start figuring out who's actually behind it?
So Jay meets with Marcus, and Marcus confirms Jay's gut feeling this is, quote, a full-on attack. Someone is actively digging up old stuff, dirt that, as the source puts it, should have stayed buried. And they're doing it for a reason, a hostile one. Marcus, who's usually pretty composed, is clearly rattled by this.
So what's Marcus thinking? Who does he suspect?
And here's where it gets really insidious. Marcus strongly feels the person pulling the strings is someone close. Someone who knows them, knows their history, their weak spots.
Wow, okay. So the threat might be internal?
Exactly, which is way scarier than just a competitor. Right. It turns the focus inward immediately.
Yeah, how do you defend against that? So what's their first move?
It's kind of twofold. Marcus focuses on the external PR, controlling the press narrative. Meanwhile, Jay plans to quietly reach out, see if he has any allies he can still count on.
Makes sense. Divide and conquer, sort of.
But even as they're planning, the source shows Jay's internal conflict. This little voice whispering, trust no one. It's a brutal look at their world, where loyalty is often, fragile. Easily bought or betrayed.
Chilling.
Yeah. It reinforces that possibility that the unseen hands Marcus mentioned, they might already be inside the circle. It really shows how success itself can breed these internal dangers.
So while they're looking outside for the source of the lawsuit, Jay's also feeling this internal pressure cook, which leads to a key step. Sarah, his assistant described as longtime loyal, starts digging into the company's financials.
And Sarah finds something alarming, a series of small transactions. They seem unrelated at first glance,
okay,
but when she connects them, follows the money, they lead to an account that isn't theirs. It's described explicitly as a shell account, set up professionally to hide things.
A shell account, right. So deliberate financial maneuvering, not just a mistake.
Definitely not. This is sophisticated stuff. And it immediately forces Jay to ask a really difficult question.
About Marcus.
Exactly.
Right.
Given Marcus is known for being meticulous, and he sent that first warning, Jay starts wrestling with this awful thought. Could his partner, his friend, be involved in this? The source shows it's tearing him up, but Sarah's findings are hard to ignore.
Man, that puts Jay in an almost impossible position, doesn't it?
Totally. It's a classic leadership dilemma under fire. If you push too hard on this financial trail, you might tip off the enemy, whoever it is. Maybe escalate things.
But doing nothing means...
Doing nothing means letting them keep stealing, letting the attack continue. The source stresses this feels different to Jay. Deeper, more personal than past business fights. He feels like he's missing a crucial piece of the puzzle. It really underscores how vital internal financial checks are, even with people you think you trust.
So as Jay keeps digging, that isolation just gets worse. Working late, hitting dead ends, trying to trace the money. And the source says the deceit seems widespread, touching nearly every part of the business.
Yeah, it's systemic. And right then, when he's feeling most alone, an old friend, Ethan, gets in touch.
Oh. Good news for a change.
Well, concerning news, actually. Ethan's heard rumors swirling about the company, about Jay personally. Things aren't right. But importantly, Ethan offers help, which, again, tests that earlier question for Jay, who can he trust now?
Interesting timing. And shortly after Ethan's call,
Marcus shows up, pays Jay a visit. And the source paints this as a really tense meeting. Marcus starts talking about being on the same page about transparency, especially with finances.
Trying to feel Jay out.
Seems like it. Jay, being cautious because of what Sarah's found, carefully reveals she's reviewing recent transactions.
And how does Marcus take that?
According to Jay's perception in the source, Marcus's calm seems forced. There's an edge there that sets off alarm bells for Jay. So this visit, instead of maybe clearing the air, actually makes Jay more suspicious.
Right.
He feels like Marcus knows something, maybe involved, definitely hiding something. And because it's so complex, so risky, Jay decides he can't really confide in Ethan yet either. It's a great example of how behavior under pressure can just shred trust.
Meanwhile, Sarah keeps digging. What else does she find?
Her findings get even clearer, more damning, these transactions. Definitely not anomalies. They're just the, quote, tip of the iceberg. Money's being systematically siphoned through shell companies. It's a deliberate, calculated attack that's been going on for months.
Months. Wow. So confirmation.
Total confirmation. This isn't some small problem. The source really hammers home the gravity. It's an attack on everything Jay built, a patient, sophisticated game to dismantle his empire. It's that chilling side of success, right? Build something valuable, you build a target.
So with this solid proof, Jay knows he has to act. He decides to confront Marcus directly.
Yeah, no more avoiding it. And that meeting, as you can imagine, is incredibly tense. Jay lays out the documents Sarah found.
And Marcus's reaction.
The source describes this brief flicker, almost imperceptible, before Marcus gets his composure back. He acknowledges it's serious, offers to help investigate, but the way he does it feels off to Jay. Suspect.
Still evasive, maybe.
Something like that. Jay decides, okay, I'm not involving him further until I get more answers myself.
And then things take a sharp turn, right?
Big time. The very next day, Marcus is a no-show for a meeting. Can't reach him on his phone. He's just gone.
Oh, man.
Jay's dread just spikes. He drives over to Marcus's house, finds it empty, and that terrible thought he's been fighting, it crystallizes. What if Marcus was involved and disappearing is his way out, his cover? It's that moment of potential ultimate betrayal.
It's just devastating. And then while he's standing there,
an anonymous text comes in. Meet me at the pier, midnight. Come alone. And the source says Jay instantly feels he knows who sent it.
Marcus, setting up this dramatic confrontation.
Exactly. Which leads us to the midnight revelation. The pier scene is described as, eerily quiet, tense. Jay goes, prepared for trouble, but basically walking into a potential trap. He needs answers, though.
And Marcus is there.
He is, looking totally defeated, according to the source. And he confesses, admits he made deals, cut corners, said he did it to protect us, him and Jay. But it all backfired.
Backfired how?
The people he dealt with, they know everything now. And they're coming for both of them. They want their money or whatever it is within days.
Wow. So for Jay, it must be just this wave of anger, betrayal, realizing Marcus risked everything, their lives even.
Absolutely. It's a brutal example of how a partner's hidden actions, even with maybe twisted good intentions, can just unleash total ruin.
But even as Marcus is confessing, there's another twist.
Yeah, a really chilling one. Marcus warns Jay, trust no one. And then he adds, explicitly, not even me, tells Jay to protect himself no matter what.
Not even me.
Wow. And right then, as if choreographed, the leader of this group Marcus dealt with arrives with his men. Solidifying the threat, the leader confirms it. In their eyes, Jay is just as responsible.
So instantly it shifts. It's not just business anymore, not lawsuits or finances. It's a direct physical threat. Jay's caught in this dangerous web because of Marcus.
Which leads to this incredibly high-stakes moment, this risky bargain for survival. The tension is sky-high, the leader isn't there to chat, the vibe is elimination.
And Marcus does something unexpected.
Totally. In desperation, Marcus offers the leader everything. The company, assets, the whole empire. Just let Jay go. He basically uses Jay as collateral. It seems almost selfless, given his earlier actions.
But Jay doesn't go along with it.
No. Which is fascinating. Jay refuses the deal. He argues, look, this won't end it. You can't trust this guy to just walk away once he has everything. Jay's mind is still working strategically, even under that intense pressure, trying to find leverage where there seems to be none.
So what does he propose instead?
He flips it, offers a counterproposal. Not a violent takeover, but a legal partnership. The leader gets majority control, gets paid what he's owed, but the company itself stays intact. Jay argues that gives the leader more stable, long-term value than just burning it all down.
Risky. Does the leader buy it?
He considers it.
Right.
And then accepts, but on his terms. And he warns Jay, basically, don't even think about trying to outsmart me. It's this terrifying deal they strike.
So they survive the night. But wow, what a cost.
Exactly. They bought time, but now they're tangled up with the very guy who was threatening them. Their empire is effectively under his control, and Marcus, who the source says is visibly changed by all this, just repeats that warning. Trust no one.
Which brings us to the aftermath, right? Navigating this incredibly dangerous alliance.
Yeah. Jay and Marcus are now operating under this leader's thumb. It's a treacherous partnership, and Marcus is clearly deeply affected.
Their whole strategy has to change now, presumably.
Completely. Survival now means going on offense, quietly. They need to gather intel on this leader, his operations, anything they can use to find some kind of leverage, some weakness.
And this is where Jay finally brings in his friend, Ethan.
Yes. He confides in Ethan, who's shocked, understandably, by how dangerous it all is, but reaffirms his loyalty, starts using his own resources to dig into the leader's background. It's another test of that trust theme. Can allies really help when things get this dark?
And what do they find out about this leader? Is he just a ruthless businessman?
Oh, far more than that. The source reveals he's connected to major international crime, arms trafficking, money laundering. This guy is a serious player, operates with seemingly untouchable influence.
So they're way out of their depth. This isn't just corporate raiding anymore.
Not even close. It's global, organized crime. And inevitably, as they dig, they slip up. Or someone talks.
How do they find out they're blown?
The source describes this urgent text message from an informant. Just says, "We've been compromised. Get out now." Jay and Marcus have to bolt from the office, realizing they've stirred up something huge and are completely outmatched.
What do? Stick together?
No, in a desperate move, they decide to split up. Maybe one of them can get away, increase the odds.
So Jay makes a run for it alone.
Yeah, he flees in his car. But pretty quickly, he spots headlights behind him. Persistent. He realizes he's being followed by professionals.
The chase is on.
It escalates. High tension. Jay makes a risky maneuver, swerves off the main road, tries to lose them in the woods. Rough terrain.
Does it work? Does he get away?
The source describes him stopping in a clearing, maybe thinking he's shaken them just for a moment, catching his breath. But then a figure steps out from the shadows. His worst fear realized.
In the ending of the excerpt.
It's chilling. The figure just says, "Mr. J, it's time for you to come with us." He's caught. His fate completely uncertain. End of excerpts.
Wow. What a narrative arc Julian Kelly gives us there. From the height of an empire, through that growing unease, uncovering betrayal, facing down this lethal threat, making that impossible bargain, and ending up hunted and captured. It's such a dramatic look at the hidden dangers of success.
Absolutely. And framing it as an entrepreneurial case study, even though it's fiction, it hits so many pressure points, right? The sheer weight of leadership, the critical need for internal vigilance, not just watching competitors, but watching your own house.
Yeah.
And that brutal reality that sometimes success attracts forces far beyond the boardroom. It really dissects the complexity of trust, especially with partners, and how quickly it can evaporate under threat.
It really makes you think about the full scope of risk involved when you build something significant. It goes way beyond just market forces or, funding challenges.
Definitely adds a few intense layers to the idea of risk assessment.
So, a final thought for you listening. Imagine you built that empire, poured your life into it, then discovered it was being gutted from within by someone you trusted, leading you face to face with dangerous criminals, forcing you into a deal with your enemy just to survive. What would you do? what is the real price of success when it gets pushed to that extreme?
Yeah, Jillian Kelly's story certainly leaves you with some heavy questions about those hidden costs, the complex, sometimes dangerous realities behind building and protecting something monumental.
Thanks for joining us for this deep dive into these excerpts from Bearing of the Torch. We'll catch you on the next one.